Hey guys, it's your girl Jaylah, and I am here on my new podcast, Along the Way, where we'll be chatting about all the things that I've lived through along the way, all the people I've met along the way, and then some. I know I've been a little quiet and things have been a little different, but I'm back and excited to be back. Excited to talk about things. I feel like I'm a little rusty, and I know that it's really just the jitters. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. I've been playing with the name for what seems years, and I kind of never, I had that imposter syndrome where I didn't want to launch if it wasn't perfect. And then when I got ready to launch, as many as you can see, I'm a little yellow with jaundice. I got sick along the way. It's been a tough journey, but I'm here to share my journey, which was the whole point of the podcast. Here to share my journey with you guys and really, how to navigate. I don't think there's ever a right way to navigate, but this is my reality. It's what I'm going through, and everything in the podcast will be as such. I'm really excited to have some amazing guests, entrepreneurs, actors, actresses, models, um, tech founders, and so much more on the podcast. I know many of you have heard of our other podcast, Tech It Up with Cafe Cultura, and that is currently nominated for a Latin Podcast Award, which I'm really excited about. And I wanted to share my experience and everything that I am going through and dealing with, because I know that I'm not the only one. And I was very, like I said, I had like imposter syndrome. I was really scared to actually talk about it. I was hiding for a couple weeks because, you know, people are used to knowing me for esa carita and, my modeling and other things. And I just didn't feel like that person anymore. I am still going through the process of kind of it all sinking in. For those of you who want to know, which is why you're here, I am dealing currently with liver disease. We'll talk more about that in another episode. I think today's episode I want to keep a little bit more lighthearted. Um, it's been a lot adjusting to the illness. So one of the things that a lot of people kept that did know or that would find out, because it was a handful, were like, why don't you use your voice? Why don't you share your story? It's a very unique one. I think that it was my liver disease comes from a mixture of things, mental health being probably the biggest cause of it. um and things catching up with you. Your parents always tell you, oh, it's going to catch up to you, it's going to catch up to you when you get older. And now that I'm closer to 40 than I am closer to 30, um things definitely catch up, but you start to worry more about, especially being a mom. You worry about those things. You worry about you going through it. I get a little emotional, which is why I don't want to fully dedicate this episode to that. I wanted to just more do this as an intro episode and really share my excitement with you guys being back and using my voice and being on air. One of the things I have realized is that it's part of my foundation of who I am as a person. Radio, the world of radio, podcasting, anything where I can talk or use my voice is really has been a big move in my life. It's really impactful. Um, Getting the Latin Podcast Award was nomination was one of those moving factors. So it really brought me kind of back to, it's like, hey, see, you got something, kid. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be back. Like I said, I have a lot of exciting guests. And they all come from different streams of life. My career itself has taken me to so many ups and downs and different doors and different loops and hoops that it's it's crazy sometimes when I talk to people about certain stories that I'm just like, "Oh, wow, I really lived a life." You don't feel that way sometimes, especially as you get older. Things move rather quickly, and you don't realize how much you've really done because you're so busy looking forward. It's one of the things that has always stuck with me when, I was after I got, let off radio due to COVID. I had somebody tell me, "Enjoy the journey. You should have enjoyed the journey." I hear about all the stories you tell me. Did you enjoy the journey? And that really stuck with me. Did I enjoy this journey along the way? And I don't, and I think that's a piece of advice that somebody would have given me, like in high school or in my 20s, to be like, enjoy this moment, like savor it. Don't just go towards what the next goal is only. Um, Savor these moments, the highs and the lows, because I think they both equally teach you um, a lesson in life, a lesson that you'll take with you, or something that's impactful. And I think that that's really important. And I didn't understand that for a really long time. It took me almost, not gonna date myself, but it took me to be in my 30s and not working and had the pandemic happen in order for me to be like, "Man, I wish I was back there. I used to complain so much about this, and I wish I didn't complain as much and just really enjoyed it and worked towards something else, or worked, using that, being more patient." I think being more patient is one of those things that I'm still working on. It's like one of the hardest things in the world. Um, I am currently also going through therapy. I think that's really important. A part of my healing process is not only just the medicines the doctors give you. I think there's a lot of internal healing that you have to do. They say that your liver is connected to things like rage, things like holding on to, rencores is how we say it in Spanish. Um, so that, like, there's so many ways that your mind and your body are connected. It's crazy. So my mental health journey is something where I'm still navigating. I still, have to find the right therapist, have to find the right psychiatric doctor, because just like I'm evolving in my life, like my medications and my therapy needs to go with that. It's not just like, here, do what you're told to do, especially if you know yourself, your body, or you've learned along the process of your life that when something is off or something is wrong or something, the level of tolerance that you have, whether it's pain, physical or mental, because there's so much, you can just be in so much pain mentally that you don't realize how much it's affecting you by holding on to those things. So, like I said, it's been a journey. I'm excited to share what I can. My first guest is going to be probably And I could say this hands down, probably is going to be my favorite guest ever. And that's going to be my daughter, Bella Liani. I'm excited because she has gone through the process with me. She's been here along the way by my side. And she's finally at that age where mommy doesn't have to be like, shh, mommy's working. She wants to be more involved. She loves, to see me happy and doing what I love to do. And this podcasting is that piece that I feel was missing. I was scared that it didn't look good enough or it wasn't at a particular high level that I feel I should be performing at. But I'm also really hard on myself, and it's something that I'm working on, because I expected things or I wanted things to be like a whole studio and a setup and have a team to help. And unfortunately, I don't have any of that. It's a one woman show. So it makes it a little harder to like, I'm going to jump at, feet first and kind of see where it goes. Um, but at this point, you guys have rocked with me through the beginning of my career. Some of you have been midway through my career, but I think, at the end of the day, it's not what is it's what's being said. I think that's the importance. I think that's the substance of it. I wanted to make sure that overall I had substance, and that wasn't, we don't live in a lollipop and glitter filled world. I think, social media has your 15 seconds of making people feel that way or think that that's how you live your life. And that's not reality. Reality sometimes is really hard and people don't share as much, I feel, their shortcomings anymore. And if they do, it feels like we're being looked at different. So again, these are all my personal feelings. But I'm excited overall. My guests are great. I've been talking to a couple people that I'm excited for you guys to really enjoy a raw and organic, uncut version of. I think it's so easy to get caught up in trying to be that perfect guest or, give perfection that I want this to be a safe space for the imperfections. Like they used to say, perfectly imperfect. And that's what Along the Way podcast is. It is a perfectly imperfect show filled with lots of love and passion and dedication and hoping that it fulfills somebody or helps somebody the way that this show is even helping myself. Even though it's my show, it still helps me in so many ways and just brings me to that point of, getting back on the horse or getting back on that bike. A little rusty, but you guys will come along the way with me. And I can't wait to share all my incredible stories, the reality of some of my stories, some names not being mentioned, just my experience of the situation, which I think are valid. And I think that we are stemmed to be silenced a lot. And well, this girl's just not going to be quiet anymore. And you'll see me probably turn different shades of yellow, which is fine. I was a little self-conscious about being on video and doing the podcast and people asking questions because I do get asked questions in public. It is not easy. It is horrible for my self-esteem. I would be lying if I said that, like, I feel my best. Um, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep pushing until my last breath, and I'm excited to keep pushing along while you guys just listen to my journey. And I hope that it helps. I hope that it brings you some type of laughter, joy, or some type of, oh, I feel better. Or, oh, it's not just me. I'm not crazy. I think those moments are really important. I get those moments and they're like, I'm like, oh, okay, I am not going crazy. No, you're not going crazy. This world is crazy right now. And we just are navigating through it. And I will be here to navigate with you through it. Like I said, my first guest is going to be my lovely and amazing daughter, Bella Liani. Not sure if she knows it yet. I know we've talked about it, but I think it's one of those things where not until she sits down, she's going to start um, showing her personality off. Being a mom to a almost 10-year-old, can't believe how time flies. And I remember her being born, and now she's all grown and trying to take my clothes already and plotting for my shoes. Um, so I'm excited. A lot of you ask about Bella all the time. Bella Liani is very much a character and a personality all in her own. She definitely has more charisma than I did at her age. And I'm a proud mom, even though I'm the one that deals with all the headaches. I'm still proud of her, and I'm excited to have her on the show. I'm excited for you guys to hear her um, have a random conversations. And we're going to talk about, I'm telling you, when I say everything, I mean everything. We're going to talk about wrestling. We'll talk sports. We're going to talk business. We're going to talk tech, fashion, music, you name it. We're going to talk about it. And that's the best part about having Along the Way podcast is that I have the flexibility to talk about and bring on whoever I want. And I'm excited to share that with you guys all in one place. And this episode is obviously going to be a little short. It was just mostly an intro. I wanted to introduce myself to those who I haven't come across, and this is your first time. Hello, welcome. And those that have been, you know, loyal followers and check in on me. And, I love you guys so much. You have no idea how much you guys keep me going, and how just little things that you say change your lives have changed. Just by you saying that to me has changed mine. So I'm really excited and proud for everything that's to come. So if you have any questions, or if you have time on your hands and you want to follow us, this is the time. You follow Along the Way podcast, or you could email us along the way podcasting at gmail.com. And that way we can get the party rolling. We could talk dating advice. We could talk marriage. We can talk all different things. I'm here for it. So just make sure that you follow us on Instagram at along the way _ pod, or you can email us along the way podcasting at gmail.com. That's the best way to get in contact with me. If it's anything with the podcast, guys, I'm going to answer on the podcast page. All right. So bring in all your followers, because I need eyes and ears. I'm going to be putting this up once a week. We're going to have episodes, and I can't wait to just keep sharing with you guys. I appreciate you for always having my back and following me. Make sure you also follow me on my social media at I am Jaylah, and I will send you all the info that you need to follow the Along the Way podcast. I'm gonna need you guys to also go vote. Go vote, go vote. The link is in my bio for our Latin podcast nomination. They're doing voting until July. So please go vote for us. It would mean the world to me and to me. Honestly, it was something that shouldn't have been a podcast, and it did become a podcast, and we'll talk more about that because some people just like, "How did that?" And it goes to show that sometimes people are watching whether you know it or not. But we'll get into all those fun life, uh, quotes, memes. All those life memes. We're gonna go and quote them. We'll get into those along the way. Thank you guys for joining me. It's your chica Jaylah. I'll see you guys next time.